I won Best PR Sports Picks. His name is Mike Brenner. My name is Peter Loshak. We're the Odds Couple. We come from sportsbookreview.com, SBRodds.com for all your line shopping needs in this bowl season. Right. And we're covering another bowl right now with Doug Upstone. Love getting his take on these bowls. We're going to cover the Outback Bowl, one of the bowls that goes on January 2nd. It's Florida against Iowa. This is a tricky one. This is one when the line first came out, I looked at it. I had a lean, but I didn't act on it, and I decided I'm going to have my lean in the back of my head and then revisit it later. And that lean is to Florida. In general, Iowa was a team that I thought was a little bit overvalued this year in general overall. They wound up being 6-6 ATS, so it wasn't the greatest call. And but for most of the year, they were a bad bet. They covered their last 3 games in a row ATS with some very impressive performances. Right, they covered by margins. Right, their last 3 covers were all by double digits. Mm-hmm. So something happened in those last 3 weeks to Iowa. The question is, does it carry over here?
And I don't mean to jump in, but last year this was a very good team. When they got beat in that bowl game, it went to their heads mentally, and they did not recoup. It took them a long time, and then they finally started cranking it up.
Right.
And you got a Florida team that's, I don't know. This is such a tough one for me. What's the line sitting
It really
at?
is a tough one. Well, it opened at Florida -2, which was what I liked at. Now it's Florida -3.
Okay.
And Florida, of course, on the year, they were a bad bet overall. They were 4-7-1, a little bit overvalued.
That offense is...
And it's just Iowa was just overvalued all year long until they beat Michigan outright, and then they got 2 huge covers against Illinois, right? They were a 10-point favorite against Illinois, shut them out 28-0. In the last game of the year, they were a 3-point favorite over Nebraska, blasted them 40-10.
Blasted them. I know.
So what do we expect from here? I'm not exactly sure. Let's go to Doug Upstone.
We have to,
because
I don't. And I'll be honest with you, I had this one circled to get an opinion from either Doug or I wanted to find out what Joe Gavassi was going to say about it. So with that being said, come on, Doug.
Let's hear it. Doug Upstone, I'll be honest with you, I really don't know. Even though I've been doing this for a long time, I don't know. What do you think here?
Yeah, let's look at the 2 teams. Iowa this year lost at home to North Dakota State, Northwestern, and Wisconsin. And their run defense this year was on pace to be the worst since 2000 and 2001, which was Coach Kirk Ferentz' first 2 years. And then after they gave up 359 yards to Penn State on the ground, for some reason, something turned around, and this defense only gave up 83 yards rushing per game in their last 3. So credit the coaches for doing a lot. And the other aspect that changed was on the offensive line. Their rushing game was only averaging, I think, 153 yards throughout the first 9 games, but they averaged 230 in their last 3. So in the trenches, this team really came around, and they really did the job at the end. It's not like they just they beat, Illinois, that's not a big deal, but they beat Michigan and what was supposed to be a pretty good Nebraska team. Now, I look at Florida. This offense of this team is just a mess. I mean, they're 113th, 113th running the ball, which is supposed to be their main strength, and they only average 3.7 yards per carry. And in fact, in 5 of their 13 games this year, 5 of their 12 games this year, they average less than 3 yards a carry. They don't have a reliable quarterback that can push the ball down the field, so defenses have just stacked the box. It tried to force them to throw the ball, and they haven't done so successfully. Now, the Florida defense was good most of the year, but it wilted at the end, and the reason that it wilted is because their linebacker crew was wiped out. They had to play freshmen exclusively at the linebacker position almost, and they gave up 200 or more yards rushing in 5 of their last 7 games. So when I look at this game, I'm looking at a hot team, that's coming in this game in Iowa. I'm looking at Florida, who coming off really bad and disappointing losses and really pretty much blowouts to Florida State and Alabama. So you wonder where this team is mentally. They don't have a quarterback. Neither team has wide receivers. I'm going to take Iowa with the points as a 20-17 winner.
Nice breakdown.
That's a great breakdown. And
for a tough game.
Yeah, and it is, but it's just now made it a little easier for me because another thing you got to take into consideration. Jim McElwain, he's a great coach, but he hadn't been there a long time. You take that against an experienced coach who has his team playing, like Doug said, they are absolutely playing good. When he laid that stat about the defense now shutting down to 80 yards the last 3 games, that's speaking volumes. And Florida's offense does not absolutely scare anybody, and I said that several times. I really knew that Florida State was going to blow them out. Alabama put it on them, and I like what Doug said. Mentally, that team's got to be wiped out right now. And when you're going on the other side of the ball with a momentum, a snowball that's just growing, and you know what? All year we have not achieved what we should have been. I like it. I'm jumping in.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Doug, open up the door in the passenger seat.
Okay.
I got it. It's right here, Mike.
All right, buddy. I am in, and I'm going to bring the wine.
All right. Hey, nice breakdown, Doug Upstone. You've convinced Mike Brenner. Mike Brenner, the best line we can give is +3 minus
Love
104. That is at Pinnacle. And
Getting
that
an
is,
outright win.
That is Doug Upstone's. Doug Upstone made a call on the official call on the final score, 2017. That might land right on it, which would land right near the total.
What would he
which is
win
40.
if that happens? Tell him what he's got, Bob.
Free trip down to Coast Street. No,
I like that.
No, nothing. All right, Doug Upstone.
He
Thanks
said,
so
"Oh,
much.
nothing."
What we'll give him is a 5-minute long plug for his website. But Doug Upstone, right now you only get a 10-second plug. Plug your website.
VegasProInsidersDaily.com, $39.9 a month. You get everything that you need in all the sports that are going on right now. Great deal.
Thanks so much, Doug.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Do your research before you bet. Check out our ratings guide to see which books have the best ratings and sign-up bonuses. Open up several accounts. Shop for lines at SBRodds.com. Always be ahead of the game.